Now let's turn to our special series, China's New Stories. In our second episode, we continue telling the stories of young Chinese Communist Party members. As the Communist Party of China celebrates its 100th anniversary, how is the younger generation making the most of their own lives? Now let's meet Shuai, who's heading the art design department in one of China's most well-known pop music companies. Born in the 1980s, unlike earlier generations who put their lives on hold to work for their ideal world, Shuai directed his life to where he is today. His name is Ku Li. Well, that's a literal translation of his Chinese name Li Shuai into English. He does live up to his name though, with what the in crowd would eye as a pretty cool job, running an art design department in one of China's most well-known pop music companies. Born in the 1980s, his life started from the days after China decided to pursue reform and opening up following the Cultural Revolution. Ku Li, just like his peers, had it better, at least material-wise, than his parents' generation, a well-heeled life throughout the decades. He's also a Communist Party of China member. But unlike those earlier generations who put their lives on hold, buckling down to work on an ideal world, Ku Li has set his direction in life to become what he is today.
I have gradually understood through some real experiences or even some setbacks in my life that not everything I want can be given to me. For example, if my wishes cannot be fulfilled or are not valued, that will also be a setback, which can be easily brought by our parents. Our parents always have their own difficulties and challenges, and some of which will be passed to their children. Once my wish could not be realized, and this wish was a wish I attach great importance to.
What was your biggest wish at the time?
When I was little, my dad brought me a Persian cat. She was white and a little chubby, very lovely. She clung to me, so we were pretty close. But my mother was a doctor. She might be less inclined to keep a cat, especially those furry pet animals. So she gave her away to their friends after 2 weeks. It was a huge blow to me. It felt like you couldn't tell if she was just a friend or just a pet.
Have you seen her afterwards?
I went to see her once. She seemed fine, and also she grew up, but not as carefully as I took care of her. She purred whenever she saw me. The life is equal. The seed may be laid at the bottom of my heart at the time.
So the cat stayed in your house for 2 weeks. Did you guys have fun?
I played with her a lot. The cat looked for me as soon as I got home, and then I cuddled her. At first I raised fish, and later I fished out all the fish for the cat to eat. The setbacks or experiences we have encountered when we were growing up will inform us that getting everything we want may not always be a good thing. If this person hadn't encountered any obstacles in the previous decades, perhaps he wouldn't develop thinking capacity and stress tolerance.
A blessing in disguise, as they say. Just like his peers, he has also been pondering about some profound existential questions, such as wealth, dreams, freedom, and even the significance of life. So Li Shuai, from the artist to the business person.
会觉着艺术本身是一种坚持
But I
啊
used to think of art as a kind of persistence. I had inexplicable standards and bottom lines for myself, which I used as a rationale to reject all kinds of things that I didn't want to accept. For example, I felt I might end my artistic pursuits when I was working in the IT industry. The only thing I got was high pay. Then I started my own company. There was a vague goal that I would pursue art after making money. I wanted to be an artist at the time. Actually, it is a kind of freedom.
更多自己要做的创作的事。
What was on your mind then?
I wanted to be an artist at the time, and it is a yearning for freedom.
It felt like you're quoting lyrics from songs all the
对
time.
自由的向往是吧？
The yearning for freedom? I think I can fly.
但那个阶段过后，我发现给我带来了更大的
After
冲
that
击。
stage, I found that I tore the pit of my heart. It turned out that I couldn't let go of my artistic pursuits. Money and art, I think, they must complement each other. Now I feel they should be integrated. And fine art is a successful business.
现在就会觉着商业和艺术它本身就应该是一体的，就好的艺术都是成功的商业，尤其是在去年，经历了疫情之后，我们发现。
Especially after experiencing the epidemic last year, we found that we were very lucky in a way.
我们的生活似乎都发生了很大的改变。在经历了整个寒
Such
冬
big loss set us thinking, you are soon likely to become enlightened.
感恩在这场战役中辛苦付出的所有人，感谢你的默默等待，我也在。
When we look at the world from a negative perspective, the whole world is sad and gray. But if we see the world from a positive perspective, it is easier to digest and appreciate the negativity. The world is getting better when we take positive energy. I won't be like an art critic, describing my works as assets to store capital and moved by collectors. But I think some emotions are for the masses, just like sometimes when we watch a movie or listen to a piece of music, we will be moved to tears. So what touches us? I feel that there is always something sincere that impresses people.
The company Ku Li works in has been a trendsetter in China's urban music scene. He told me he enjoyed people watching more these days, standing in the quiet corners watching the young celebrating their life. It's such a sweet and satisfying moment.
我最近其实，在5月中旬的时候，在广州的那个 MDSK 音乐节，
I was actually at the music festival in Guangzhou in mid-May. At the time, the temperature in Guangzhou seemed to be 37 to 39 degrees Celsius. Then, I saw many young people running.
我看到很多奔跑的人。
The majority of them were little girls. Their faces are red and purple after being sunburned. But they were all smiling, and they are all genuinely happy. They didn't care about being sunburned at that moment. They were just enjoying themselves. When I felt their energy, I saw myself many years ago. At that moment, I felt like it gave me more meaning to my job.